So welcome everybody. Welcome to the virtual Cantina's Jedi Archives. I'm Mike, your host,
I'm
with
John.
Jonathan.
And I'm Bryce.
And today we're going to be reviewing the High Republic #4, The Blade, which is the conclusion.
Yep, of Mr. Charles Soule's miniseries.
So here we have the main
my
cover.
favorite Jedi.
I found this on the web for S. Check it out.
Was that you, Jonathan?
It wasn't me.
That was my Siri in the middle of recording.
Okay.
So that's cool. We're gonna leave it in there. That's
So
what
here's
we do.
the main cover of The Blade, the High Republic #4. And doesn't look good for our quarter angle.
Well, this almost looks like phase 1 Porter Angle. I mean,
Yeah.
he looks pretty
Beat up and old.
old and rugged right there.
Mhm.
See, I don't think things look rough for him. I feel it's the total opposite of things are about to get rough for some other people.
Right, but it's kind of deceiving because you see the blood like on
Yeah,
his center, so
Yeah.
you might think like at first glance, oh, is he hurt? But
Well, also one thing that's really interesting about this cover is this is the only cover that says Porter's Last Stand at the top. So I wonder what that was very interesting that it said that because the other ones don't say it. There's like 4 or 5 other covers for this book, so it's really interesting.
so what do you guys think? I like this cover, like the gold.
I like this cover a lot. I didn't see all the other ones. I only have one of the other variants. I know Jonathan has it as well.
Here's one of the variants.
Yeah, this is a good one too. But if you see the style, especially like in his face and the saber, it's pretty much the same as the one we just saw. You know, a little bit older, grittier looking guy.
And then we have this variant with Keith Trennis on the cover.
Yeah, it's the Women's Month cover for this, right?
No, this is
this is the Black History Month variant.
Oh, Black History. Thank you. Okay.
The next one I think is the Women's Month. Oh no,
Nope, that's
this
the one
is
I have. The other
variant.
one I have. Yep.
And here he looks younger to me.
This looks like he is in the issue. Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is the Women's History Month cover.
Okay, that's the one.
With Barash Sylvain, his sister.
I love the art on this one. The anime style.
It's very Speed Racer.
Yeah.
Yeah, weren't these all done by the same artist? The women's ones? Were they not done by the same artist? I can't remember, but I think
the
they might have been.
autograph looks different. I don't know who did the. If you look at, see, it's right next to the spaceship right there, next to bottom right. It's different from the other autograph.
Oh yeah, but I mean the Women's History Months for the other comics too. Is it the same artist?
I thought they were. I thought I read something about that they were all the same artist, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. So overall, really nice covers. And in this issue, we've got main characters Barash Sylvain, Porter Engle, and Vice. Supporting characters with Colden, Sakatra, the Queen Kieran, Tozin, the General, Sevens, the ancient droid, and of course, I don't know, Yoda.
At the very end, like when they're the consequences or whatever.
Yeah.
They're back on Coruscant.
So going through this issue, it is a conclusion.
What was your favorite cover? What was your favorite cover? Did you have a favorite?
I'm gonna guess Mike's favorite cover was actually the Keith Trennis one.
Nope.
No?
Not the Keith Trennis. My favorite cover was actually it was a Keith Trennis. How did you know? Yes, it's the Keith Trennis. That's my favorite cover.
I knew it.
It is.
I knew it.
It's got Starlight Beacon. It's got Keith Trennis.
It's a great cover. Don't get me wrong. It's a great cover.
They put a lot of time in this art, way more than the other ones. They try to make it look hyper realistic.
This one's really nice.
Putting it so out there, it's very. They put a lot more time in this than the other ones. Very cool though.
Which is your favorite cover?
I love the women's one, the anime style one. It's just so unique. You never see that, so really cool looking.
This one, yes.
Yeah, that's a very cool cover. I am a major fan of the standard issue one.
The orange one.
Yeah, the main cover. I
That one.
really like that
With the
one.
gold background.
It's just like, to me, like I said, kind of at the beginning, it wasn't so much like, he's in a bad way. It's more like, no, some other people are about to be in a bad way, especially when you go from what happened at the end of the last one to like the beginning of this one. So I was like,
That's
yep,
true. That's true.
people are about to get messed up. And then the story takes a wicked turn that I was like, well done.
Yeah. And then plus, if we read the intro here, it says, to save the innocent, to save his sister, to save himself, Jedi Master Porter Engle must embark on one of the most epic instances of lightsaber combat ever recorded in the Chronicles. It will change him and Barash forever.
Mhm.
So that sets it up right away. This is going to be an epic lightsaber battle. So when it starts out, we have
Yeah, he kind of comes out, and then General, is it Vice?
Vice.
They kind of have a little bit of a square off. And then once,
Well, that opening like line they say, she's like, I've killed other Jedis or something like that.
Right. She's definitely formidable.
And then he
Yeah.
just says, they're not me or something like that. Just like Mike
oh
said,
yeah, he basically said
but
that's
you have
fine. but
never fought me.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then
he does that quick little move, and he puts his lightsaber tip like right across her cheek,
Right.
and he's standing behind her, and that's when she's like, "Oh, this is a little bit different." And then she causes that distraction with the grenade to get out of there, because she knew, like, okay, he's right. This is a little bit different.
He's different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of like how there's that whole incident, but then they talk about the prince and the princess, and that's where like we've been talking about Iliad and Odyssey, and then it was like they were the ones that caused the whole thing.
Right.
Like, and even General Viss turned on all of the turned on that security force and killed all of them in that room, and tried taking over. But yeah, that was nuts. Like, I didn't expect that twist, that they were the two that caused that whole incident. And it was really the general that decided to take matters in her own hand and change the entire plan. Like, that was like, wow, okay, this is cool.
Yeah, things didn't turn out the way they expected it to.
Yeah,
for sure.
That was really, really cool. Very appreciated that, because I'm thinking, okay, we kind of know how the story is going to probably go, and then all of a sudden, wait, what?
And I'm even wondering if, during all of this, there is no more Sith, right? So during this time, the Sith have been eradicated. Well, allegedly, they don't know. They don't know that there still are the two in hiding, right? So at this point, the Jedi think all the Sith are gone.
Yep.
So I'm wondering, the Sith must be doing something to try to like throw a wrench in there for the Jedi. So I'm wondering if they're kind of like manipulating things from the sidelines, like with Vise. Maybe not that she's Sith, but they might be saying like, let's throw money that way, or let's manipulate their thinking. So I wouldn't be surprised if she were somehow connected or being influenced by the hidden Sith.
Yeah, never know.
I think we're gonna find out what the Sith have to do with the High Republic when that show comes out.
The Acolyte.
Yeah. I think that's where we see.
I mean, because we know the Sith are around.
Yeah.
We know.
Because isn't the Acolytes going to be kind of like a bridge show between like Phase 2, Phase 3?
No, it's a bridge between the High Republic and the prequel.
Okay, so this is going to be post Phase 3 High Republic time period. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what was the only thing that I was not solid on, was that time frame. For some reason, I thought it was going to take place. I guess it would make sense because Vernestro is much older in the show, so that would make sense.
She's like 100 and something, right?
That makes sense. I love the fact that we're still getting a Wookiee Jedi, and we're actually getting one in live action, and the fact that it's Eunice, I'm on board.
Absolutely.
Very excited for that.
So it turns out that this whole thing was a big machination by the prince and his wife. Things didn't turn out the way they expected it to because they thought it was going to be simple.
The pregnancy was a lie.
Pregnancy was a lie. Yeah, even the
Mhm.
Jedi. I don't understand how she could fool a Jedi with that. Couldn't the Jedi
And-
just sense?
There's the other twist too, because Barash is so in tune with all of that stuff. The fact that she didn't see it,
Or
like, makes
sense
the
it.
ending, yeah, and makes the ending of this book and this series, like, I was actually kind of sad. Like,
It
oh
is
man,
a sad ending.
I mean,
Yeah.
it really is. It's a sad ending.
Mhm.
Even though, both sides have kind of figured things out and all that other stuff, but for our two main characters here, that's a sad ending.
It is sad, and it also reminds me of how it was a sad ending for Ahsoka when she had to leave because she felt so disillusioned with the Jedi Order. And Barash is kind of in the same boat because it's
That's a
not her
great
fault that
comparison, Mike.
her species cannot forget anything of their family. So it's
Yeah.
impossible for them not to have that connection. So the Jedi Order is it's very like human centric and forcing other alien species to have to conform to the human view of things. And so it was going to be impossible for Barash to not have connections to her family. Even though she was taken as an infant, she still remembered every single person because of the way that their species has evolved. So I think she just felt like I can't do this. It's just not. It was too constricting for her personally, and she had that bond with the Blade. So
Yeah.
it's pretty sad. Jonathan,
What do you think, John? Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you think, John? We've been all getting all the screen time here.
Yeah, there's several things. The fact that they tricked everyone with the pregnancy, not just tricked everyone, but it influenced Barash. Barash is her name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Influenced her in the earlier books. I don't know if you remember. And she was making like quick snap decisions, thinking about family and stuff like that.
Right.
So now she's like, this is what this is all. Why now she's deciding what she's doing because she's like reflecting on it. She goes, my judgment was impaired because of I'm thinking about family and stuff. So
Right.
that's why this one's so big. A little bit on the issue as a whole. The story was very, very. We knew where it was going in the beginning, and it was just they're copying Iliad and the Odyssey, but this is really a chance for us to see Porter Engle as almost like a prequel.
Yeah,
it definitely spun on its heels on that one. It's definitely the twist stole this last book, so much though that I felt almost let down with a little bit of the conclusion of Porter Engle's story because I was expecting a little bit more focused on him and we got a little more focused on her and the story. So we pretty much just see that he's badass, and then the story changes. So it was very interesting how they did like a 180 on the story for us like that.
They did. I totally feel everything you just said, John, especially about the end of the book. And then I flipped the page and realized there's another series coming out.
Yeah.
And then I got super happy because you're completely right. I'm like,
right.
Well, I want more Porter Engle.
Right. Right.
And I'm like, this can't be it. Like,
yeah.
I'm sitting saying the same thing. I'm like, no, I need more. Like, what happens? Like, how does he go from being this dude to being the guy that we see, in the very first book that Charles wrote, where we mentioned him and how he's an awesome chef and everything. Like,
right.
There's a big gap. Like, what's happening? And then I flipped the page. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. Like, I'm just so happy.
I agree. Because this was supposed to be centered on him. It was his story. Yeah. And it ended up being so much not his story that I was a little bit let down.
Prequel to his story, which is a prequel to the other story.
Right. But it's coming. It's coming. We're gonna get this. I'm glad we're getting more.
One thing I
Yeah.
thought was pretty cool is I think it's the last page. You see that courtyard of the temple, and you see that in Clone Wars, that courtyard. Like I think
Yes.
season 5 or 6, we think it's the end of the original end of Clone Wars. So I think that was pretty cool that we got to see that.
This, you mean like the tree?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's pretty
Yep,
cool.
the tree.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Because
Yeah,
that's
so don't we see that in Tales too? Don't we see it in Tales
yes,
with
we see it in
Dooku's?
Tales.
The Dooku?
Mhm.
Yeah. Dooku episode.
So
Yeah.
I love that too.
And
So
then
you
the
know me, I love
book-
any connections. Whenever I can find connections between multiple stories, I love that too. The Broken Blade. So,
Yeah. What do you guys think?
what are your ratings?
I
have a
love
question.
go ahead, John.
You want to talk about the overall series first? You want to talk about this book first?
I was gonna say probably issue and then what we
Okay.
thought the series would be is a nice way to cap it.
All right. I'll let you guys go.
Jonathan wants to hear ours before he bases it. He's like,
Well,
I
you guys
like
are-
this
I don't wanna
issue.
be too
I'll,
low.
I'll go. So I did like this issue. I thought this issue was better than the previous ones because it does wrap things up and it gives you the nice twist at the end with the fake pregnancy and then all the lies and then the twist and the Greek battle scene. So this is my favorite issue of the 4, and so I do give it. That's my top ranking for the series. This issue, and overall the whole series, I give it 4 out of 5 holocrons.
Why did you give it 5?
I didn't give it 5 because this is really not my type of a story for a 5. So it's personal, and it's really good. And for people that like Helm's Deep, all that stuff, the Iliad, or that type of story, they probably would give it a 5. But those aren't my kinds of stories.
Yeah.
So the ones that I like are more like romantic, and so it's different. It's more character driven. So those take the 5 spot for me.
Okay. Right.
Rice?
This issue was a very much love hate because like I loved it up until that last page and then I was like no, I need more, and then I flipped it and then I was back in love with the thing again. Yeah, I mean for me this was 5 out of 5. I loved the twist. I was expecting the story to go a certain way. I was expecting Porter to go a certain way. We didn't get that, and then we're getting a second series. I can't say enough. I love how Charles writes these stories. Light of the Jedi is seriously one of my favorite books. So period. Doesn't even mean Star Wars, just period, because like it just grabbed me within the first chapter, that book. And this story's got it, so I can't wait for the second series. So for me it's 5. Like I can't not. I don't know if I've even rated anything lower than 5 in this series, to be honest. I may not have.
So your book and series was a 5?
Yeah, because of the last issue. If I didn't have anything that was a 5, it's all been taken back for the last issue for me. That's just great.
Reroll the tape. We're gonna.
But somebody who loves Greek mythology, planning a trip to Greece and doing all this, like this really, like I totally understand where Mike's coming from. Like it's not I mean, for me, it was like, dude, this is great. Like, here's Eric and here's Ares and here's all
Right.
this stuff. Achilles, sorry. Coming in doing all this stuff. I was like, all right, and then just that huge plot twist at the end. It was like, all right, this was awesome. Like
That's very Greek
very
too.
cool.
Those plot twists.
Yeah, so I appreciated the whole thing. Yeah.
Cool.
So, Jonathan?
My take on this last book was it was the best story out of all of them. Better than all the other stories combined. The rest are very straightforward. But it's the least Porter Engel. So it's definitely like you said, love hate. He did have that great moment, like I said in the beginning, where he's like, "Put your hand up, face me." If it wasn't for that, it'd be kind of like really nothing at him at all. So I'm gonna go 4 on this one. So yeah, great story. He does have a moment. It's a little sad at the end, but yeah, 4 out of 5 for this book, which is probably one of my highest scoring so far.
It is.
The series, I'm going to also give it a 4 out of 5. I wanted more of it out of it going into it. I was, we're gonna get a Porter Angle thing. I was like, this is what I wanted. I'm really excited. And then I find out it's really just first of the half. So I was like, that was a little disappointing. But like this is his journey. So we're finding out. Yeah, it might have been better if it was all one, but because they broke it up, they kind of have to score it like that. So this is his journey. Find out why he's no longer has a sister, pretty much. So I'm assuming we probably don't hear from him again, maybe, or maybe just a holocron or something, holo message.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah. So I'll give it 4 out of 5 for overall book. But yeah, I was expecting more, but I guess we are gonna get more. But I was kind of expecting it by now. So, but we do see that he's the greatest lightsaber Smith sword fighter ever, just in the first 3 books. So,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, absolutely.
Yeah, it
And then
makes
this
me-
last battle was pretty epic.
Yeah. Makes me wish we got more Markion Row, but I get why we didn't at the same time. Like I know we only got the 2 books, but he was a main character throughout the whole thing, and Porter wasn't. So I understand it, but it almost makes me wish, because we're getting it probably, well, I'm assuming at least 8 issues with with Porter. Like I wish we would have gotten 4 with Markion.
Markion.
Those 2.
But then again, there's
There's only 2.
yeah, there's only the 2. But again, phase 3 comes along, he's still around.
Right.
So we may get the other 2. Maybe that's going to be Charles' side project in phase 3. So
Yeah, I don't know. He needs to be very centric in all of them.
yeah.
All right. So thank you for joining us. That's our review of The Blade, issue number 4, conclusion to that epic tale. And please support our sister pages of Star Wars Comic Book Club, or Comic Book, is it?
Yes, Star Wars Comic Book Club, Star Wars Book Nerds,
And Star Wars Book Nerds, yes. And of course, our main page of Jonathan, what's your main page name?
I was the virtual cantina. Like and subscribe.
Thanks, everybody. And may the force be with you.
may the force be with you.